Hello everyone. So hopefully you can see me okay. I did a thing, and you can, if you're in the art world at all, you might see what I have done. I dug through my art supplies and got out my encaustic painting stuff, and I went down the rabbit hole and I bought some new colors, and I want to eventually get the entire line of R&F colors, but that's going to be down the road. But what I'm doing today, or let me back up. What I saw on Stacy from Studio Stacy Do is she took her colors and she took sticks similar to this. These are painter sticks. You get them, I got mine from Home Depot. You get them in a pack like this. They come 30 for like $1.97. Very inexpensive. Or maybe $2.97. Either way, it's under $3. And she colored the sticks and put the name on the back of the sticks so she knew what they looked like. And I thought that was genius. So that's what I'm doing. And again, her name is Stacy over at Studio Stacy. If I can remember to link her information below, I will. So, what I'm going to do is I have here a green, a brown, and a blue. I'm going to get out my green, brown, and blue brushes. Green and blue. This is more brown than this one. Nope, it's brown. Okay, I need to get these cleaned off in some soy wax. I have some here, but it's pretty grody. So I dumped my soy wax in here just because once it gets to be too tinted, just goes right in there. I'm working on a tile table that has a silicone mat on top of it. The silicone mat is not very thick though, it's very thin. Okay. Probably should have cleaned these brushes before I got started, but I was too excited. Okay, let that melt down for a second. A second or two. Doesn't take long for the soy wax to melt down. So next to me I've got a pot of Encaustic medium, and what that is beeswax with Damar resin. I put mine in cube form like these, just to make it easier to melt. Just throw them in there and they melt down. I need to grab a paper towel. I need to open my paper towels. But anyways, so I have that melting off to the side of me. It's mostly melted. Just a couple more pieces. These used to come in bigger rolls. The price of everything has gone up. Oh, come on. Thank you. Okay. So let me just grab, if I can, a couple of these. Okay. So the soy wax is still melting. Let's let that melt down. So the colors I'm doing today are Cerulean Extra Pale, Still the Green, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, and Green Earth. I have one more coming in. I think it's Burnt Sienna, but it says it's supposed to be delivered today, but it's still in Austin currently. So we will see when it actually gets delivered. Some other things I have on my desk just to, while we're waiting for the soy wax to melt, are some, and these are the encaustic brushes I use. They get really hard with the wax. You have to melt them on your palette, which I have a palette right here, or in the encaustic wax before you can use them. But I have those off to the side. I cool them on the silicone mat so that way they're not stuck in the encaustic. This started to cool on me. Why did this start to cool on me? This was smoking a second ago, so I had to lower it, but now it's starting to cool on me and solidify again. So I'm raising it back up. Okay. Soy wax. Soy wax looks melted enough. So I'm going to start with the blue. I need to warm the bristles up, and actually let me put these on here. Oh, like that. So I can start warming the bristles up. And the soy wax. Gotten some of the blue off. Then you just wipe it till it comes out pretty clean. If you're concerned, you could get a new brush every time. I have brushes up here, but this looks clean enough to me. So what I'm going to do is, since that's the cerulean, that's the blue, I am going to keep an eye on this. I'm going to heat up. I could do this first. I'm going to put my heat gun on low. I'm not using a torch because these are wood and I don't want to use a torch, especially after just nightmares I had last night. But anyways, so let's go ahead and warm these up. You want to warm them up so that way it's not completely a shock to the encaustic medium when you put it on there. Just warm it a little bit. It doesn't have to be super duper done. And I got about 2/3 of the way down. And normally I do these one at a time, but why not? Okay. And just separate these a little bit. So now you can see it's starting to get cloudy, which is what's going to happen. But I want it to, you have to fuse it between every time. So I'm going to do it on low again. Okay, and I'm going to do 4 layers of this. I didn't gesso it. Typically I would have a gessoed board and do 4 layers of medium, which is why I'm doing 4 layers of medium on here. But I didn't gesso these, and I didn't gesso any of the other ones either. So that's layer 2. Let that set for a second. Then we're going to hit it with another round of getting the fusing it. Let's go ahead and do that. And I am staying home inside today. I live in south central Texas, where I live in San Antonio, where we got hit by a bunch of storms yesterday. I understand other places got hit even worse than us. But our roads are flooding like crazy. We don't have good drainage system here. So okay, that was 3 layers. Let's do one more layer, and then I should put this back on there. That way it's warm. It looks like I'm moistening a lot, but I'll show you what I do with that in just a second. Okay, let that cool for a second. Okay, I'm gonna let that cool for a second, and then I will pick it up and show you what I do next. And I can't tell if it's smoking or not, or if it's just a reflection. Garbage was supposed to come on Tuesday, and it sounds like or Wednesday, and it sounds like they're finally here today. Outside, if you can hear it, I don't know if you can. So see how this one had come completely away from the other one, like it, and then I'm just slightly taking this off. The pieces that don't have color on them go back into this pot. The pieces that do have color go into here to go into the slot. That it's a griddle, so it has that slot that like you put stuff in. So that just goes into there and it melts down, and eventually I will make, oh no, another color out of it. This one, I'll have to do it in a second. It's too hot. It's got color on it. I didn't see it. Thankfully I saw it before it melted. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I was talking kind of low a second ago. Okay. And your hands do get a little bit gummy depending on how long you let it cool for. But now I've got 3 clean sticks. And I'm going to move my soy wax over. So I'm doing the cerulean extra pale first. So I'm just going to take a pad of paper, clean up the area that I'm using right this moment. There wasn't that much on there because I haven't really used this area. Get some on there. Hopefully you can't see that. It's about, I don't know, the size of this worth of paint. And I'm going to load up as much paint as I can. 1, because I don't want to waste it. And 2, because I want to do this in one quick, smooth, and I didn't accomplish that. One quick, smooth pass. But that's okay. We have to fuse it. And when we fuse it, it's going to kind of melt into itself. If it starts to fuse. It's not that streakiness anymore. It's a little bit, I shouldn't be holding it up so soon, I should let it dry. It's a little bit kind of blended a little bit with what blue was on it. That's why I say if you want to get a new brush every time you can. I personally just use whatever brush I have for that color range, unless if it's a super, like I really need it to be that color. But I tend to try to keep my brushes clean. They're going to get stained, but I try to keep them clean as much as possible. And they're going to get ruined. It's wax. Okay, let's do Still the Green next. Let me clean that brush. Normally I clean them during and after, or before and after doing projects, just because sometimes they can have a lot of gunk still in them. Okay, so let's pull that one over here. I'm going to move my thermometer out of the way and use this corner right here to put about the same size of paint on there. Scoop up as much paint as I can and lay it on. Okay. This got cold again. There it goes. Okay, it wasn't wanting to fuse at first. I don't know why. But here is that one. Oh, and I also put the brand of the there's Encaustic medium on the back. That's fine. I also put the brand of what company it is, so that way I try to know if I run out of a color, if I don't see it, what brand it was, so that way I know one where to look for it, because I keep my brands separate. I've got Encausticos and I've got RNF, and then I keep my brands separate, and I keep my I lost my train of thought. I'm going to heat this one up, hopefully have a little bit more success. Let me actually clean this brush first before I heat it up. Hopefully have a little bit more success in doing the one swipe across the thing. And this does tear up your bristles also. Okay, let's heat this up. Why is it not? Okay, so that's heated up. Let's get the green earth on here. And get as much of that on the brush as possible. Then still stringy. It might be the way I'm cleaning the brushes. This one also doesn't have a lot. I didn't put enough paint. There it goes. That's better. Put more paint and it works. Okay, let's fuse that in. Like I said, I saw this in a video from Stacy hanging on her stuff, and she did a tour of her room, and she had it hanging by color, which is what I'm gonna do, by color family. But I haven't seen a video of her actually doing it, so I don't know if she put the encaustic medium down first or if she just colored it in the paint color that it is. But that is Green Earth. So I have been rambling for 21 minutes, which is surprising that I've been rambling for that long. But yeah, so that is my newest thing. I'm still writing. I finished my, I'll do a separate video for my writing stuff. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.